What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Good morning. Hello. This is going to be a bit of a stranger stream. I have a hell of a list to talk about here. I just kind of woke up. I am having some coffee. I'm outside. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. And life isn't too bad. I kind of look disgusting, like I said. I just literally woke up. But yeah. So I have my coffee. And also, and we'll talk about this. Started smoking again. I started smoking again. It always it's hardest for me in the summer when it's like hot out. I just love to fucking just sit outside and fucking chain smoke. And I am gonna probably do that in front of you right now. So sorry if that offends everybody. And it's not gonna be forever. I go like on and off. I stopped smoking when I visited Sacha last May, and then I just started this new job a couple weeks ago. We'll talk about that too. And it just sort of works, and I love it. I love fucking smoking, and we knew this was coming. But like I said, I had a hell of a list here. These topics are going to be schizophrenic as usual. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Would that make me feel better? Oh, that's better look. Okay. I think we can do this, right? I kind of want to get the hair out of my face. Okay, so where to begin? La. Let's start with more of the pop culture stuff and ease our way into it. House of the Dragon trailer. Did anyone else see that this past week? It dropped. If you haven't seen it, pause this video and just do House of the Dragon trailer. They've had, I think, like a teaser or two before, but now they put out like the official trailer, and it looks sick as fuck. All the dragons, and I personally am so excited. Um, so excited the house. And it starts, I think like literally like a month from now. It's like August 21st or something. Like, and yeah, it looks fantastic. I really want to do sort of like a review show. I've started to see like people do like the trailer breakdowns and stuff, and they do these like huge live streams, and they go through like every scene. And I can kind of do that. Honestly, I should probably reread the fucking book, Fire and Blood, before like about a month. I think I could probably do that. Um, it's just that I know like a little bit more what I'm talking about because I read it last summer and I was obsessed. And yeah, let me think about that. But yeah, anyways, I saw this like live stream. There was a whole bunch of like mixed people talking about it, and they did like a pretty good job. But there are so many fucking FAGGOTS is in the whole like nerd sphere, I guess, like like nerd erotica, and this one guy, what is his name? It's like David Lightbringer or some shit. He's like some Jew on the fucking West Coast, and I cannot fucking stand him. He's one of those people that, for those who've like read the book, there's like a dragon named what I would pronounce Vagar, V-A, like Vagar, um, and everyone else seemed to do it, including I think George Martin himself. And this guy pronounces it like Vagar. He's one of those people also who pronounces it like I call it like Uranus, like the planet, allegedly, like, or I've heard like Uranus, like he pronounces it like Uranos, and this David Lightbringer channel is such a fucking queer, I can't even stand him. But that's what I'm saying, is like the people who are like review this stuff aren't fucking cool, and I don't know, so I really wanted to do like sort of like a weekly sort of breakdown of that, if I can fit it into my schedule. I've been working crazy hours, like literally over 60 this week, and I'm fucking dead. And I gotta figure out like when each new episode will drop on HBO, if it's gonna be like a Thursday thing, or if it's gonna be like a Sunday night thing. I think Game of Thrones released Sunday night on Sundays, so maybe I could like watch it in the morning and then review. I don't know. Gotta figure it out. But super excited for House of the Dragon. I'm really excited to see this like the musical score because Game of Thrones had some excellent music, and it was by some guy. His name was like Radim or something. He did a fantastic job, especially in like the later seasons, which um, just like narrative wise completely fell apart, but the music, like I think saved it a little bit. And he's doing the music again, and I'm really curious to see if they sort of weave in like sort of a there's obviously going to be like a Targaryen theme, but I wonder if they'll weave in like Khaleesi's theme at all, because hers is pretty fucking epic if I remember. Okay, so let's cross this off the list. House of the Dragon, let's get into it. Um, let's see. Following up, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I don't remember the last time I streamed, but I think it's been a couple weeks. And watch what happens live with Andy Cohen when they have like the housewives on. Right now, there's two things that I've been watching. It's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip or something. And there was, I mentioned this last time, but one of the people from OC, Vicky, she had mentioned that she was like against the VAX and she didn't take it, and how she's like follow the money and all this. She was the only one who was like smart, but she got like reprimanded in front of everybody. But it was interesting is like Andy Cohen, Andy Cohen, he like kept bringing it up on these sort of like review talk shows, um, and he like was it there'd be like quick questions or whatever, and it would be like, was it okay that Vicky was like blah 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 anti paparazzi and all that, and they like really pushed that narrative on there subtly, but like also I don't know, it was fucking weird. Also in that show, it's another one of those shows where something is really loud in my background. I mean, there's a farmer like over there. Hi, Tree of Knowledge. How are you? Is it hard? Is that hard to hear me? Um, I guess I could try to go get my little earbuds if that would help. Um, Let me know if it's that bad. I'm sorry. I could try like flipping the camera and pointing the microphone. No, orientation is locked. Imagine that. Orientation is locked. Um, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. If it's that bad, I'm so sorry. Um, just let me know. La 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 la. Where was I? Where was I? So yeah, they pushed that narrative. They pushed that narrative. Um, I don't remember where I was. I'm sorry. My this is. Okay. Anyways, so the last episode aired this past week of this Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip or whatever, and the last episode was kind of strange. Um, Maybe there's a locust or something. Yeah, there's like bugs and shit everywhere. La 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 la. Should I go try to get my earbuds? And if I get my earbuds, will it connect right away? You know what? We're just gonna go try. We're gonna go try. Just everyone pause for a second. Un momento, por favor. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for the wait. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we're just gonna have to go with it. My laptop. No, that's my laptop won't turn on. I don't know why. I left it in the fucking garage for like a week, but the temperature wasn't like anything crazy, and it won't turn on. It won't charge. I'm just like fucking a. Hey, okay. I hope that's better. I'm sorry, you guys. Thank you for being patient. Anyways, continuing. Um, Thank you, Sonia. I love you so much. You're iconic. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for helping me. Okay, 9 minutes in, and we're getting there. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about. Okay, so this last episode that aired this Thursday of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, um, it ended like on a huge Christianity note, like a religion note, and like an uplifting note, which is very very rare in my opinion to see in the media. It was this it wasn't even, it was like Christian, but they were like, doesn't matter like what you believe, you know, because we all get to the same thing, and that's God and whatnot. And they like never do that on TV ever. At least recently, they don't really like push Christianity as a good thing. And granted, it was like all an African American thing. They had some like choir and stuff, but it was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, and it kind of got me. It had me shook a little bit, and I'm like, imagine if we saw more. I don't know, but interestingly too is in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this past week, Diana, you know, the one from Yugoslavia. my father and my mother died in the war. She said, because she grew up in Yugoslavia under communism, and Uh, she talked about this when she was like talking about Christmas or something, and we didn't have Christmas in Yugoslavia growing up because it's communism and they didn't like allow religions. And it was interesting that again they showed a negative aspect of communism in the show. So again, I don't know what's going on there, but it was rare, and I just wanted to call it out because I talked at the house. But hi, Wendy, how are you? You are beautiful. You and your mom are both beautiful. Okay, let's cross that off the list. Um, Next thing, switching topics a little bit. La 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 la. I guess the Pope came out and he was saying that eating meat is a self-destructive behavior or something. And I was just like, kind of shook because they are kind of starting to push this whole like anti-meat thing that's involved in their whole climate change hoax. And I don't know. Like I tried veganism for about 4 years. I was like militant about it. I was kind of pushy in the beginning, but then I don't know. But then I sort of ended up incorporating like salmon and eggs and a little bit of chicken here and there, and that's kind of I eat a lot of vegetables and mixed with that. I feel good eating all of that. I would eat more meat. I kind of there's different people around here that sell like elk or I want to try bison, honestly. But yeah, the meat thing. I don't know where exactly they're end up going with it, but the veganism thing, like, first of all, it's such a the whole thing is like such a hoax because especially if you live like in the northern hemisphere, you undergo something called like I guess you get winter in the south too, but it's winter. Okay, so you don't have like plants and stuff like that to consume all year round. You are 100% reliant on the whole transnational globalism flow of like being able to have like watermelon in fucking December, you know? So the whole veganism thing, they try to make it like natural and organic and all of that, but I don't know. It really it goes case in point with like again transnationalism, and I did feel kind of like weaker. You feel very clear. You feel very clear. You feel like lighter. So I think along with like fasting, sort of the veganism can help if you're going for a little spiritual quest possibly. But I don't know, you guys. Something is like really weird with that. And the Pope is obviously satanic, and he really pushes a lot of this stuff, which is something again the Catholics like myself I feel like we have to reconcile at some point is that like I feel like no one has allegiance to the Vatican. They push everything opposite of what they're supposed to. Um, but yeah, so he says it's a self-destructive behavior. I don't really know why, but they're starting to like really push some sort of like eating habit transformation, and I want to keep an eye on that because from my experience, like the veganism was like good to sort of switch it up for a second, but there are people that are like really pushy on that stuff. And another thing is like the veganism, like they eat a lot of like processed foods. Like they have like all these like Beyond Meats and all this stuff, which is like worse for you than actual meat. And the processed stuff, which I don't eat perfectly. I love fucking chips. I can just like sit there and eat. Donuts are my favorite food ever. Um, but dairy is a questionable one because like I can do like a little bit of dairy in like a dessert or something and be fine. But like cheeses and stuff after like 4 years of veganism, really I can't do. Um, it really makes my stomach upset. And I'm someone who drank like chocolate milk by the gallon every single day for pretty much my entire life. Um, so yeah, I don't know. The whole veganism thing is, and the people who are, like I said, I'll admit, I was like pushy for a little bit because it came, like you start to feel clear, and you're like, oh, I want everyone else to feel this clear. But again, maintaining that is almost impossible without the system. Again, you can like grow your own food. I try to grow my own food. It's great. I have some. I should do a garden update because, um, some of my pumpkins are starting to bulb. Is that the word? Um, but there's like little pumpkins growing and watermelon and uh, yeah, and like but again, that takes a shit ton of effort. You need a shit ton of um, like you have to grow a lot of food, like and I don't think people like realize sort of what goes into it, and that's why like meat, dairy, and then like a garden. It's like what do they say? It's like the most you get the most amount of like calorie efficiency in like so many acres if you have like again like a meat source, a dairy source, and then like a I guess like the the German, the Aryan, like agricultural way. And I think that's like a nutritious, stable way of doing it. Again, the processed stuff is awful. But anyways, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Oh, here's a. We'll go back to that one. Okay, so weather. Let's talk about the weather for a second. Um, I don't know, you guys. We've had like literally a perfect summer here. I'm talking like beautiful. Like I've had like we had one sort of like beautiful rainy thunderstorm on a Friday during the day, but otherwise it's like beautiful all day and then it rains at night and everything's been like so fresh and lush. And I don't. We had like a couple 90-degree days way back in May. And it was sort of hotter this week, like mid 80s, upper 80s a little bit, but it'll cool down again next week. And I haven't. Everyone keeps talking about like this how everywhere is like so hot, and like we've had a brilliant summer. And I don't know why. Last summer was a lot drier, but maybe we're just sort of lucky this year. I don't know. But the weather so far, and we're halfway through, has been fantastic. And this is what's also strange. It's like I don't really see chemtrails anymore here, and I'm like, how is that sort of possible? Because oh, this is going to be flagged. So I already said whatever. But the chemtrails. So like there'd be periods, especially during like lockdowns and all that, where the skies would just like you couldn't even fucking see anything because it was just all chemtrails, you know. And then it would be like at different temperatures too. It's not like oh this is just happening when it's colder or etc. And I haven't I'll see maybe like a sporadic one here or there, but nothing like the whole grids that they used to put out. And it makes me almost go crazy because I'm like, how does it happen sometimes but not all times? I don't know something weird goes on with that. And I'm not even trying to be conspiratorial, but it's something definitely is up with that. And I think there's I don't know. We'll stop there. Let's say okay. So gas prices. Gas prices have been going down by me. Like it's very bizarre. It's almost like 5-10 cents like every couple days and it's like 420 about there right now, and I am like, why? You know, um, these people are so disturbingly sick. It has to probably do with like midterms, and I can see like the narrative that was pushed already, like Biden like took on Russia and did all this stuff so that and helped lower gas prices that Russia did, etc. Um, but it's just gross how they can just like by like sort of like pushing the button make prices go up or make them go down, just sort of how they want to stress the population. That is so sick. It's so disturbing. Pedophile Pete and all of them are just like, I don't know. But yeah, gas prices have been going down. Again, I think it's probably because of midterms. I'm not complaining, but I know that it's just like a matter of time from for when they'll go right up again. Biden, uh, if they get like, the Democrats get a good turnout in November, like they would probably just start hiking them up again. I don't know, but I don't really know about the whole voting thing anymore. Maybe locally, so there's a couple sheriff positions and stuff where I'm like, uh, if we do go into a lockdown again for whatever reason, um, some of them are a lot more chilly than others. So yeah, that's great. Okay, so I'll talk about my job a little bit here because immigration, like we've been seeing, like the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people who are coming in just this summer alone. And like I said, I work like a landscaping, hardscaping, like concrete pouring sort of job right now, and it's a hell of a lot of work. I work with like two white guys sometimes, but otherwise I'm with a crew of Mexicans like all day. Thank God I fucking lived. I had Spanish in high school, and then like I went to college uh, in Miami for 4 years. So like I have like I can like get around with Spanish and like God because these people don't speak a lick of it, and they're pretty cool. Like I get along with them, and it's been great for me to sort of like practice my Spanish and be sort of flexible. Like because like I like words, and we're gonna talk about like words and stuff like that in a second. Like I like breaking them down. I find language so fascinating, the similarities and all of that, and how they approach things. Um, but like so like Miami is like very Cuban. It's like all Cuban culture. So working with like Mexicans and seeing like the differences is also like fascinating. Um, and yeah, so these people are very hard workers. Very hard workers. They're like good people. What I call them great people. Probably, I don't know. They were like debating about Trump, which was really interesting. It was all in Spanish, so I couldn't hear like perfectly. But basically, they prefer Trump over Biden because of gas prices, inflation, etc. But then they also are like sympathetic to like the open border. So it's sort of this. They were going back and forth about it, which was kind of fascinating. Because they say they're all there on green cards. I don't really know. But they seem chill, but they all have like six, seven kids, and they send like probably 80% of their income back to family in Mexico. So I don't know how I feel about all of that. Again, um, I feel like our country is. What did Biden like? Biden himself didn't he say like it's going to be like less than whatever percentage of like heritage European type? Um, but yeah, so the the Hispanic population is definitely growing here. Again, I don't mind. Just this language is fascinating speaking Spanish, but there's again, I work with like two other white guys sometimes. Both of them, one of them is more sympathetic and like plays around with the language and just like laughs about it. Because these people like they talk fucking dirty, and it's great and everything. But the other guy has like no patience for it whatsoever. Like no patience for it. He's like these people talk like fucking birds. I'm like okay, but again, as good as these people might be, they really don't care about like white people or like sort of this country as a whole. They're very, very insular in that way, very community oriented. Like I said, they have huge families. But like we're just gringos, to them. Uh, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like sick of having to like defend the idea of like wanting borders around like my country. Because you talk about like Mexico, and my dad has to fly there frequently for work, so he told me these stories, and they like told me the same stories about like just like the crime and stuff, and how people would just like jack your shit all the time, and like the water and stuff, and they have like the nicer areas obviously have like huge walls and security like everywhere. People drive around with like security, and then it's like I don't know. That whole situation will probably blow up at some point. But let's move on to just a quick comment. Tea parties. Tea parties. Remember, like, I'm talking like literally like sipping tea. That'd be all like clear. But I remember like, and I kind of like setting up like when you're younger and like kids, like you obviously like play and like you play house and all of that. So like tea parties I find are so chic, and I really want to sort of like bring them back. I feel like that it's just like sort of like cultured and like elegant in a good way to converse without you know alcohol. And I don't know. I just think they're chic. The whole thing is very sort of gentle, very relaxed, very decadent in a way. And I kind of miss that. And they had a tea party on Beverly Hills, I think it was, recently, and I was like, that's again very very gay, but tea parties are cool. I like tea. I like different kinds of tea. Coffee, obviously. I'm drinking coffee right now. But that kind of the whole like the way we eat and like sitting down at a table and like setting a table and how like manners and the whole like presentation of everything is such a lost art form. Such a lost art form. I remember Karl Lagerfeld, may he rest in peace, when he died, a whole bunch of information died along with him. Like I feel like he was the best. And I mean this like literally the best like source like living at the time who understood like 17th, 18th century uh, like French courtier dining and how just like the whole like placing and everything. Like when you have like when a waiter is serving you food and you're sitting down and it's on a platter, like they should be on your right side. Um, they should not be on your right side. They should be on your left side because it's awkward to get it from like your right. It's much easier to go from like the left side down. Just like little things like that. The manners in general, people those are gone. Etiquette and all that. I don't know if other people find that like important or just maybe it's just like too white for the world right now. But I miss that kind of culture, you know. I really do. And tea parties are cool. And again, I'm Beverly Hills Diana. She's again the Yugoslavia one, like rich as hell, like billionaire, like how much money, but they're always in like sweatpants. They're always in like hoodies, and um, I think it would be so cool to like not wear like it's so hard to like winter, but not wear hoodies and sweats again. Like really get away from that. It just seems like the way you they're like laying on the couch and they're like in sweatpants. They're like out and about and they're in sweatpants and a hoodie. And I just, again, I love my comfortable clothes. Don't get me wrong, but back in the day, people like approach life so differently. And again, the whole like comfortable sort of plush like grout fit, which we love, is very. It reminds me so much of like a mental asylum. Like people walking around like patient, like you're so fragile, and I don't know. So we'll see where fashion goes in the next couple of years. Um, I wonder. Okay, let's go to the expansion of Suburbia. Now versus then. So for my job, I've been like I'm pretty well versed on like Wisconsin, and through biking, like I go through a lot of back roads, and I know just like areas. But now with this job, I'm just like going every fucking where. Um, you just like really see a stark contrast in things. And the whole expansion of Suburbia, I've heard about it so many different times. So here's a farm field, now we're going to sell that farm field, then we're going to turn it into the type of suburb, like the houses, if you live in America, you know exactly what they look like. They look like the same thing every fucking time. It's so fucking ugly. A lot of them don't even, like front porches are not something that people make anymore. No one sits on the front porch and just like people watch it because everyone's inside on their fucking phone. So the whole like approach to house building I would love to change because again, the desecration of these farm fields, almost all of which were cleared by hand like 100 plus years ago. And this stuff is like irreversible. It's like this grid of just like fucking ugliness, and I hate it. I fucking hate it so much. But like even like 40 years ago, maybe longer than that, probably like 60 years ago, like the neighborhood my dad grew up in, north of Milwaukee. Like I wouldn't live. No one would live there now. It's all black and like little. But it's how they approach like just like laying out like a suburb. Would have like a median, like a median, a tree line median between the roads. It'll be like that doesn't necessarily have to be like this diverse way of doing things, but people do everything like so cheap nowadays. It's all about like the most like spatially efficient, like constricted sort of. There's no like, okay, we have a little bit of space here. Let's just make like a beautiful sort of like subdivision where like you're driving. The approach to everything is like so bad, and even the names of these places too. Like obviously like there's a lot of roads. There's a lot of fucking roads, and you need a lot of fucking names for these roads. But eventually, it's just sort of like another business drive, another. It's just like the naming of everything, which is important. The words we use. It's just like the names are just as boring as the houses are all. The clock at the house, Um, and all of that always makes me so sad. Maybe I'm like just crazy, and maybe I'm too much of like a hippie. I understand that the world is very, 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 very big. So even the creeping of suburbia, um, we need a new continent, I think. But if it wasn't just so fucking ugly. If they don't put like suburbs there, they end up putting these huge concrete warehouses for either like Amazon or all these different places. And they keep like building right now. They're still building. They're building strip malls. But then it's like all these now hiring signs. So it's like, why are we building in all these ugly fucking buildings and taking up beautiful nature for stuff that sits, only open 2 days a week because they don't fucking have the workers. It's like great, build a new grocery store, but if you can't get all the fucking people to like work there, what's the fucking point? And all this comes to a slope very, very quick, I think, because again, driving around so much, the amount of hiring, just like literally everywhere, is where did everyone go? I know everyone asks this all the time, but like, where the hell did everyone go? Are people like secretly? Look, I get like almost like FOMO because I feel like people are like secretly having fun somewhere, getting paid some nice amount of money just to sort of fucking lay around. I don't know, but or maybe that many people just like do social media. I don't know. I don't know, but there are jobs literally everywhere still. Um, oh, one other thing. It's like the barns and these beautiful like it'll be like a fieldstone barn. Uh, And again, they expect any of the like the farms that need repairs. They don't like hire like masons or anything to like redo like the field stone. What they end up doing is just replacing the field stone with like concrete blocks. Um, which is again the cheapest. I guess it's like structurally sound, etc. But it just takes away from the beauty of the whole thing, and it's just now a concrete block, just like an Amazon warehouse, just like every fucking thing else. And the farms, maybe I'm just attached to them because my grandparents, my grandma grew up on a farm, and theirs, slowly deteriorated, and now it's like beautiful ruins. Really, I hope to like build a garden there someday. 'Cause we still own the property, but um, yeah, it just makes me really sad because those are I just find again the structures we don't build anything cool anymore. So then when we are repairing things to keep them alive, they do it again in the cheapest way, the cheapest and ugliest way fucking possible. And then if they are selling their farm but it's still like in good shape and they want to maybe just do like a couple good repairs, they end up turning it into like a wedding venue, and it becomes sort of like kitsch thing, which is like memories of times where it's it's the only places that are again not fucking ugly. Even churches, which actually this is something very interesting. They're building, and they have most of it built, a huge, huge cathedral, like 30 minutes from my house. I should probably go over there and film it, but I see all the scaffolding. It blows my mind. I didn't think we could build like that anymore, and it kind of made me. I know that's like one of the big things with Tartaria, um, and all of that. But the huge, huge dome. I mean, two huge domes on this thing. I mean, at least 6, 7 stories high. Arches everywhere. Beautiful, beautiful masonry. And it just came up over the past sort of year. And I guess we can build like that for real still. And I always thought that was like, because I see all these beautiful buildings, and I know we're so far away from that culturally. It can seem like we have no attachment to that whatsoever. But I do think like a lot of these things we absolutely have the ability to build and have built. And I don't like necessarily distancing ourselves from our own culture and heritage and ancestry just because we're so far away from it culturally right now, if any of that makes sense. Um, Probably not. I feel like I'm starting to ramble now, but I just have a couple. Um, we can go into astrology next, I guess. I only have like two more things to talk about. Um, yeah, we can just go to astrology. So, uh, there's this conjunction coming up, and we're kind of in the midst of it now, but it's basically the last days of July, first days of August is when it's most exact. It's Mars, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus, which individually, like Mars North Node or Uranus North Node, that happens every, sort of whatever, but the combination of all three of those in Taurus, I guess, hasn't happened since the times of Alexander the Great, and that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out on the world stage. Where is the carburetor? But I'm also kind of nervous myself because I'm prone to accidents. As you guys might know, I like hit black ice and flipped my truck 3 times a couple of years ago, and that fucking sucked. And this is gonna happen in my and I am just very curious because actually I think I'm gonna go. I haven't been ever. I really want to go motorcycle bike riding. I don't even know the vocabulary. I just want to go out and fucking ride because I think motorcycles and all that is so fucking hot. And I'm actually gonna figure this weekend. And I'm just gonna look fucking hot in the back of it and go for a ride. But I'm kind of like, I don't want to crash. But motorcycles are mostly safe now, right? I don't know. But I'm really excited. I wonder if do any of you guys like motorcycles or bikes or anything like that? I think it's fucking cool. And it's so beautiful nature-wise out here just to go for a ride. Um, I'm really excited. Really, really excited. But this conjunction coming up has me a little bit nervous. I think it's officially Leo season now, which I fucking love Leo energy. Um, love, love, love me some Leo energy. So it should be a promising couple weeks ahead. Um, what other? I wish I had my little zodiac thing filming right now. So what other things are going on astrologically? I think that was like the big one. Given new moon coming up next week, I think. Yeah, next week. Um, But yeah, things have been good here. Sorry if this video was a little bit rambly. Here is the let me not knock myself. I got the latest issue of Vogue in the mail a couple days ago. I guess this is the person who played Diana in The Crown. If any of you watched that, but kind of looks like a boy. I'm not really into that kind of thing. She's like pretty and clean, don't get me wrong, but um, this is the August issue, and most of the ads are still just like pride stuff. And I really, 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 really want to take back the rainbow because actually I saw an ad the other day on YouTube. It was like this tranny. I allegedly could get his period. It was so disturbing to see that. Um, Ads are like really crazy now. It's obviously all programming, and I just try to mute it and like look away. But maybe I'll do. I haven't looked at through this Vogue at all, but maybe I'll do a video on that. I'm not really sure. But anyways, let me just check the comments here before I go. Is this orientation? Oh, my orientation is still locked. Okay. I think I can. So yeah, there are so many different Bidens. You have the Bidens that are clones, and you have Bidens that are machines. Yeah, Trump was pushing the bioweapon shots. What does that say? They're all cops. Yeah, Trump really did push the bioweapon shot. That's very true. Both of these Republicans are fucking suck too. So the whole system um, has issues. Let's see here. That's too funny. And when you just went outside and posted Instagram and you went on follow up. Mr. Marlowe, love you too, brother. Yeah, the whole bioweapon thing. Oh my gosh, we can talk about that quick. A little personal story. My brother who's cucarached multiple times was in the ER this week because he had all of the symptoms that everyone else has been describing. Like he felt like he had a heart attack. He had like really extreme chest pain, I guess. And he had to go to the ER. Is now on a course, of course, more medication. And I was so fucking scared. And that's why the people who are like, oh, you take the bioweapon, like, you're gonna die. I'm like, I hope it doesn't fucking kill you because pretty much, yeah, all of my loved ones took it. And him going to the ER, and he's 26. And he's in, like, prime shape. And it just really scared me. So uh, I wonder how that's gonna go this fall. So we're gonna keep pushing that stuff because um, I'm starting to see like real world in my own family consequences, and it makes me very sad. But as this video is titled, we all have our part to play, and we all have our roles to play out while we are here. And yeah, I don't know. Do people still wear masks anywhere? I don't see that ever here. Usually, honestly, I see more. Like if I do see it, it's like more likely like a black person. And I wonder why with all that, but no one really does the mask thing anymore. It's interesting on these reality shows though; they have like the help is always wearing a mask, and it's just so bizarre and it's so grotesque to see that, you know. Um, of course, like the main cast isn't wearing it because it takes away so much from your face, and there's no show because you're wearing masks, you know. So it's obviously very important that you show your whole face, and I feel like you owe your face to your community. I really do. I don't feel like you owe the truth necessarily, but I feel like you have to at least show your face. How else can you trust the other person? You know, you just go back to like, the Mexicans and language and how absolutely vital it is to know that you're heard. You know that people can like understand you. That is like crucial. And when you take away your face, just like they do in the Middle East, you know, you have no, I don't know. And you know, if you want to do that in the bedroom, you know, go for it. You know, all the S&M sort of bondage stuff, like whatever you want to do. But to be walking around like that in like your community is so macabre, really. You know, these people are just walking around as patients. You know, they're all on so many medications, and the pharmaceutical. As Vicky said on Real Housewives, you know, follow the money. Okay, let me just check the chat one more time before I go. Can you text me? I want to be free again. Brother, I tried texting you. But you didn't text me back. Um, I'm so done with the same life thing. It's so old. Yeah, I feel like with the transformation, man. I'm in like a completely different place with like work and everything right now. I feel like I've done a 180. If you guys would have known who I was like 10 years ago, it, it it's crazy. Like it's like you change, but you also don't change. It really is kind of like a blooming of a flower. You know, it's all the rest of the petals are all still there, but it just sort of keeps unfolding. And I guess we all go through like periods, right? I just got my period, uh, my butt period. But I've turned 30 this fall, and I'm kind of a little bit retrospective. Again, it's Leo season, and this happens in my 12th house. So not necessarily nostalgic, but there are still a lot of things that I want to accomplish before I turn 40. Uh, and I want to see if it's possible. I've already accomplished so much. Um, in just in the past 10 years, I've done so much, and I'm very happy. Um, but if you wanna get shit done and get things like do a lot of things in your life, like you really have to transform. And you have to like be able to let go of baggage, and it's not easy at all. Uh, at all. But if you want to get a lot of things done and be able to like move around certain uh, landmines, if you will, uh, you gotta keep it moving. Oh my god, I'm fucking 30 this year. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Okay. I think you can really my wife is waiting for me, so why don't Mr. Ratman, dude, why don't you call me? Um anyways, is there anything else that I wanted to chat about? The flowers are beautiful right now. The zinnias are in full bloom. I love fucking zinnias. I was at a house earlier this week who had the most insane zinnias. Then they passed a farm where people did zinnias. They must put them for like farmers markets or something. And zinnias, I just like love the saturation of the color. Um, it's just fantastic. I had poppy season is sort of at the end right now, but we had a whole bunch of poppy and daisies and my wildflower gardens. Just they're unreal. Um, they're unreal. Flowers and gardening and all that has brought me so much joy. And I always sort of was appreciative of it, but until like probably 4 or 5 years ago, I never thought of this. Again, the world is so I'm like, I gotta do my part to at least make the space that I can control, as visually appealing as possible, not just to me, but the whole sort of ecosystem. Can't even talk now. The whole fucking ecosystem is balanced and like a homeostasis, and with all the bees and the little every single night. Again, like I said, the weather is so perfect this summer. Every single night since probably the middle of June, like sundown, etc. It's just lightning bugs everywhere. Just lightning bugs everywhere. It's the most incredible thing. This world is so magical, and so naturally beautiful. And these Satanists, like want to blame Mother Earth herself for their push, their fake, distorted agendas, especially with the whole climate change bullshit and all of that. Like, I don't know how people fall for that, but the idea that like farming is, I mean, you can like, I'm against, pesticides and all that. You want to try to do this stuff as soon as possible, but um, there definitely are ways to do it all. Um, but again, to make a lot of food, you can't have fucking animals eat it. You got to be able to protect it because as soon as they get it, like you're done. You overwater your plants and they die, you're done. You underwater your plants, they die, you're done. You have to be very protective, very attentive to the food. But like, shouldn't you be? Shouldn't if you're putting it into your body, you're consuming it. It's becoming part of your soul. Um, I feel like the food would be even better for you if you like were there someone's entire life. Um, this is reminding me of that movie Kimi no Na wa or whatever, when they have like I think the conference was called like Musubi or something, and it was just connection, connection in everything. So when you are eating and all of that, like it's connecting with your soul. And again, going back to like table manners and etiquette, even like the Asian cultures have like brilliant like tea ceremonies and just how they do sort of like dining is so different from what we do now. But not to go backwards. Um, Anyways, I hope you all are good. I've been jibber jabbering now for 45 minutes. I hope the sound wasn't too bad. I'll try to live soon. Again, I want to get this whole Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon thing figured out. Unfortunately, I don't think Sasha and I's schedule to work right now. Again, I've been working crazy, and she works a whole bunch and has a lot going on. So I don't know if we're going to be able to stream. Maybe we could do one randomly sometime. But with this fall, uh, when the weather starts to change and my hours start to change, I'll be much more available. So maybe we can start up a live stream again. But that was so much fun. And actually, Tasha, I got something at like a barn sale. A barn sale a couple days ago that made me think of you. I have to send it to you in the mail. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I hope you're good, Mr. Marbles. I'll try texting you. I hope you're okay. But anyways, Sonia, Wendy, I love you. You guys are iconic. And I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.